Hello. This is going to be the first of a series of videos about America and where we are in America. Uh, Starting off, we want to talk about the Democratic Party and why are minorities in the Democratic Party. See, so many of us have been grown up and been taught through the years that if you're African American or a minority, then you must have to vote Democrat. But as we can see right now in America, after the Biden administration, I'm not saying that the next Democratic president won't do what we need him to do. But as of right now, the Biden administration have basically destroyed the Democratic Party. And when we talk of racism in the Democratic Party, Biden, I hate to say it because I'm Democrat myself, but Biden has shown a direct reflect of racism. And that's where he's taken advantage of minorities, African Americans in particular. And follow me as I tell you and explain to you what I mean. Biden knows what it takes to get elected, to get the votes. He used Kamala Harris, to get the black votes for the general election to become president of the United States. And after his polling fell so low in America now ahead of the midterms, he appointed an African American to the Supreme Court. Don't misunderstand me, people. These are all deliberate acts, not saying this is something that he wants to do, but this is what he felt like he needed to do in order to curb the black vote. Now, I implore you to ask yourself that since Biden's been elected, how good have things been for you? And I'm not saying that everything is just real bad, but it ain't real good. We look at gas prices, we look at housing, we look at food, we look at clothing, we look at just everyday living. When we have a president that focused so much overseas, and understand me, there's nothing wrong with happening in Ukraine, but when you can just go to Congress and ask the Democratic Congress for 20 billion or $30 billion to help another country, and they just give it to you like that. But when you have American citizens getting evicted every day, kids not enough to eat, and you go to Congress, it's a big debate that takes months to decide whether you want to help or not. There's a problem. There's a problem with that. And what I'm saying is that you need to understand that we don't have to vote Democrat. I've talked to a lot of Democrats over the last month, and most what I'm getting from people is the same thing. I vote Democrat because my parents was Democrat. But that doesn't mean that you have to be Democrat. The Democratic Party is not what it was back when Obama was president. This Democratic Party is not there. Okay? Joe Biden ran a campaign on bringing the country together and unifying everybody. And this country has never been as divided as it is right now. So I ask yourself, when it comes to midterms, it comes to president election next year, in 2 years, in 2024, think about your vote. I implore every African American, every minority, that maybe the Democratic Party is not the party for you. Maybe the Republican Party is not the party for you. Maybe you just need to be independent where you vote for the person that shows you, that is saying or pretending, that's all we can do, that you assume is going to do the right thing for the country, for the people, for the citizens, for you. Now, understand, nothing is going to be perfect. But we always talk about how rich of a nation the U.S. is. And I went out last week and I've seen 4 different apartment complexes, 5 people that were being evicted because they couldn't pay the rent. Now, and you hear them say, well, there's a lot of jobs, but everybody can't get jobs. Well, That's a lot of jobs, but everybody right now can't even afford. There are people that can't even afford to buy gas to get to their job. They had to quit. That's what things are right now. I understand this administration we have right now, the Democratic administration, have made a lot of policies, a lot of decisions that have just devastated this country. It have made us look in the world in the eyes of the rest of the world not as a superpower that we've always been. And I think that it's time that we send a message that no, you can't buy our votes by nominating somebody of color. It's going to take more than that just to get our vote. It's going to take more than just nominating somebody just to get just just to get what you want. You understand Biden and Kamala Harris called Biden racist during the primary debate that they had before was nominated vice president, vice president, and she already know that he's prejudiced, and she knew that when she accepted to be vice president. How long was she vice president before Al Sharpton them had to go to the White House and ask Biden, why y'all not giving Miss Harris nothing to do in her role as vice president? Why should it even have taken that? She's your vice president. She should have a role with stuff to do. And when we have a president, like I said, that's more concerned with the well being of countries overseas instead of the well being of our own country here, then there's a problem. There's a problem. And I'm getting tired of people using excuses about, oh, well, they not getting the support from the Republicans. It's not a Republican or Democratic issue. They couldn't even pass the Build Back Better plan, the Democrats, and they have the majority. They could either pass anything that they want to through the House and the Senate because they have a minority of both House and Congress. But they have so much infighting that they can't even accomplish those things. You understand? That's a message right there. Okay. How are you going to take care of a country when you can't even take care of home? And I'm talking of the Democratic Party. So all of you that feel like you're in the minority and you're supposed to vote Democrat, I ask you to really take a step back and look at the world, look at your situation, look at the people around you or somebody you know situation, and ask yourself, what is the Democratic Party doing for me while I'm giving them my vote? So maybe you want to be independent so you can vote for whoever is best. That would be my suggestion. And I'm going to have a lot of videos coming up on different subjects, going from racism, going to the border, to everything. We're going to cover things here in America. And I look forward to talking to you in the future. But I implore you at this point to stop and look around you and ask yourself, why am I Democrat? And just because your parents was Democrat or your friends was Democrat or you always was taught that you was a Democrat is not a good reason to be a Democrat. Thank you and have a good day.